to ask her about the tsunami.
I want to ask her about the Ziploc bag. Eating
Right.
almonds from a Ziploc bag.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's true. She may have been eating almonds from a Ziploc bag in that moment. Sort of a mashup of Helen of Troy and Marilyn Monroe through the lens of war, is what I said. But there's more to it than that. I find the history so extraordinary.
It's a very powerful musical
Yeah.
element, and there's a very beautiful text element. So it's a kind of, I think of it like a kind of hybrid creation.
You think of it as a poem that's been staged.
Yeah.
It's helpful with music.
We keep saying, you have to let it wash over you.
That is everyone repeats that phrase.
There's a moment when I have switched 3 fans on the stage, and very slowly a pile of paper on the far desk starts to blow across the stage, and I really like that. I know no one sees it, but it really me every night.
See, I get enormous satisfaction from closing the steel desk drawer. I like the sound of it. I must have some memory, some buried memory. We're not amplified. There's no microphone on the stage of the Met. It seats 30 and 100. All of these grand opera houses are big, and so it's all about powering your voice out to the public and over the orchestra and chorus. So it's kind of a form of ventriloquism, I would say. And,
it blows my mind.
And so this is the opposite. This is the most intimate.
So, I mean, I only learnt a few chords on that ukulele, and that took me 6 months. So I'm not very gifted in that
But
area.
when we act in music, it's about 3 times as slow as speech. So it's all about stretching out the gesture and the thought and the emotion. And so to watch, you actually layer the role and build on each rehearsal, for me was incredibly inspiring because it's so detailed.
I was very excited by the fact that this text, which wasn't obviously theatrical, was going to be staged. I like texts that aren't, obvious material, that they don't, immediately clear how it should be done. I find that interesting and challenging. Both of our characters have backstories that are really detailed, and it's an injury from a war. But I think I don't want to say too much, because I think it really is for each person to interpret or think as they wish to about that. I think it requires the audience member to sort of learn how to watch it as they're watching it. There's no so maybe it makes people a bit uncomfortable, but in a way I find exciting.
I have loved this, everything about it, the process. I find it scintillating. And certainly the text is just to sit and listen to those words and look at Ben saying those words, for me, is a privilege.